All right. Hello. Hello. How's everybody doing? Guys, first of all, I totally understand how frustrating that everything has been lately, the last couple of months. Some of us worse than others, wherever your state is, whatever's going on with you. We can't be together at KetoCon, but we're together right now. We're making the most of what's going on. And I'm so happy that you're here with me. I know that there are no other presenters with purple-ish hair, a purple mohawk. So I'm just excited that you're here with me. And I plan on bringing the heat. I plan on bringing the fire. I plan on bringing some really hard truth that a lot of you guys need to hear. And, some of it might trigger some of you. Some of it, you'll be like, oh, crap, like I never really heard it being put like that. That's me. I don't know. I'm telling you that I'm coming to you from a place of love. I know I have been through this myself. And, we got to know, you got to hear the truth sometimes. KetoCon, let's think about KetoCon, the largest keto conference in the world. Some of the greatest minds in the world, the greatest data, research, studies coming together in one place. We've got doctors, we've got biologists, we've got researchers, we've got some of the greatest people in the industry coming together to bring you all this information. The companies showing up to KetoCon to present these state-of-the-art products that are going to move us from sugar, from the chemical processed crap into a better, healthier life. You guys know it. I mean, we have what's like 5,000-6,000 people coming to this conference every year. This is huge. You know the benefits of a ketogenic lifestyle. You know the benefits of the proper human diet. You know it. That's why you're here. But we've got people walking around KetoCon that are still battling being overweight. And why is that? Why is that you know it? You know the truth. You know the products. You know the research. You know the data. You know all this stuff. You've heard the truth. But you're still battling being overweight. I know. I'm going to raise my hand. I know. I mean, my company was founded because I was battling my weight and I didn't understand the nature of the trap. We're talking about self-sabotage. Why are you still self-sabotaging? You know what you know it. You can recite it perfectly, but you're not living it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about some things that we need to get out in the open. Okay, real fast. If you don't know my background, you can see behind me. All right, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. Yeah, I know it's a little bit like, well, what the heck is going on with Cristy? I was raised poor in the mountains of northern Idaho. I have two sisters. My dad was a police officer and our local minister. It was a very small town. Talk about a fishbowl life. Talk about a fishbowl life. Oh, I couldn't get away with anything but us girls. We were good kids. My mom worked for minimum wage. We were raised really poor. So we had this big family ranch, and all the money that my folks did make, which just wasn't much, went to this family ranch. Horses and pigs and chickens and cows and dogs and cats. And it was a really wonderful childhood and full of love. I mean, my folks have a lot of love for us girls, but no money. So when I wanted to go to college, when I got out of high school and I wanted to go to college, zero money, big fat goose egg, had no money for college. And I was on my own. So I actually started fighting. Yes, I said fighting as a way to earn my way through college. I had no idea what I didn't even know. Like I was at a local YMCA taking a boxing class, kind of like doing this, and a boxing instructor sees me through the window and says, "How long you been boxing?" I said, 44 minutes. And he said, "Wow, you have a real propensity for fighting." Well, I didn't care. Like I'm bartending. I'm trying to put myself through nursing school. Like I don't even care about boxing. He said, "You should box because you could earn some extra money." Well, ding, ding, ding. The light bulbs went off. Oh, holy crap. I can earn some extra money fighting. Well, little did I know that it would turn into a huge career for me, where I fought in 15 pro fights, 2 world titles, and I was considered one of the top 3 most dangerous females on the planet over the course of 8 years. And I mean, it brought me a lot of great things. I had my own show on MTV. I was featured on the cover of Allure magazine. I trained celebrities. I mean, all these really great things came from my boxing career. Problem was, halfway through my boxing career, I started to get fat. I'm sorry. I hope it doesn't offend anybody that I say the word fat. I'm just going to say it because, we're all real people. Let's just be real here. I got fat. But see, I was taught, well, you just need to exercise more. That's how you lose weight. What? I'm exercising 3 to 5 hours a day. How the heck am I going to exercise more? I'm going to blow out a knee before I actually lose more weight. How is this even possible? I'm an elite level athlete. How am I getting fat? And not only just getting fat, just don't feel good, like foggy brained and lethargic, and my body hurt. And why is this happening? I kept thinking, well, I picked up a book by Mark Hyman called Eat Fat, Get Thin. It's been out for years, and I'd never heard of a high fat lifestyle. I had no idea. I had no idea that I was making myself sick and fat because the bullcrap food I was shoving in my pie hole, that exercise had nothing to do with it. So I created the Code Red lifestyle. My hair used to be red. I get the name Code Red from because I was in nursing school with red hair. Someone came up with Code Red. It stuck. I kept it for all these years later, the Code Red lifestyle, where I teach people how to lose weight by just having real food, drinking water, and sleeping. And it's the proper human diet, the same thing we all know. Everybody listening to me right now, it's the proper human diet. It's not rocket science. It's the way we were meant to live for years and years and years. I created the Code Red lifestyle. I changed my diet. I got it within a healthy weight for myself, and I'm feeling better at 44 years old than I ever have my entire life, even at 24 years old. But I had to learn these things that I am going to teach you right now. Why is it that we still battle the things that we battle when we understand? And I hear people say, when you know better, you do better. I actually don't agree with that, because a lot of us know better, but we don't do better. We don't. A lot of people, they think the standard American diet is the food pyramid. We know that's absolute bogus. That the food pyramid is what's making us sick. So a lot of people really don't know, but some of you guys listening to me, you do know. Number one thing you've got to realize, you got to pick your hard. You got to pick your hard, because it's all hard. You have heard this before, but you ain't never heard it the way I'm going to say it. See, you need to understand that no matter what path you take in life, it's all hard. Ain't nobody getting out of hard. And once you get this through your head, you can realize, okay, I just need to make my decision which hard I want to choose. It doesn't matter what you do in life. If you are a janitor working for $7.20 an hour, I don't even know what janitors make. I just made that up. You need to understand that that's going to be hard. Being a surgeon is going to be hard. Working for NASA is going to be hard. Being a stay-at-home mom, we know that's hard. It is all hard. And I hear people say, well, like Cristy, like here's my gallon water, my half-gallon water right here. Okay, well, Cristy, I don't want to drink my water. It's so hard. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Because this is hard, or being fat is hard. They're both hard. I get it. I don't want to gag down my water anyway, but I do it anyway because I don't want to be fat. It's part of what's keeping me healthy. People say, well, it's hard to turn down the free food on the airplane. Oh, yeah, I get that. Especially if you sit in first class. They shove free food at you all the time. But you either turn down the free food or you ask for the seatbelt extender. Turning down the free food is hard. Asking for the seatbelt extender is hard. People say, well, I don't want to meal prep on Sunday night, like just getting that chicken ready on Sunday night, or getting the meat thawed out for the crock pot. Oh, that's so hard. Either you spend that hour meal prepping on Sunday night, or you spend that hour on Monday morning in your diabetic doctor's office dealing with your out of control blood sugars. It's all hard. Drinking your water is hard. Pricking your finger 6 times a day is hard. You need to get that through your head. You ain't never getting out of hard. And it doesn't matter who you are. Barack Obama's got rules. Oprah Winfrey has rules. You want to know why she's 10% owner of Weight Watchers, and yet she is still battling with 40 to 60 pounds overweight. She's still one of the richest women in the world, still has to choose her hard. No matter what program you do, no matter what path in life you take, you are going to have to choose which hard you want to deal with. And your choice, you're choosing your hard might come every hour. And you're like, oh, this just doesn't get any easier. It does get easier, actually. I'm telling you, the lifestyle gets easier the longer you do it. But it might be that you're choosing your hard every hour. Every hour, when you get up from your desk and you walk to the water fountain to refill your water bottle, you might be walking past your coworker's desk and she's got that bowl of Hershey's Kiss, the little bowl of the Hershey's Kisses. You guys know what I'm talking about, coworkers, the coworker that does that to you. You know what I'm saying. And you're walking by and you're walking like this and you're going, I'm choosing my heart. I'm choosing my heart. I'm choosing the heart of drinking my water as opposed to the heart of being sick and feeling foggy brained every time you have a Hershey's Kiss. And by the way, it ain't just one. People say, well, I just had one. No, you didn't. You didn't just have one. There's no such thing as just one slice of pizza. There's no such thing as one Hershey's Kiss. There's no such thing as one handful of chips. There's not just one. So don't give me that. Okay, come on. I used to be heavy. I got that way for a reason. I know the tricks that you're thinking about right now. So walking past your coworker's desk and turning down that Hershey's Kiss, that's your hard. Instead, drinking your water, that's your hard. You might be battling with your spouse that's not supportive. That might be hard. You know, the kitchen is closed. We tell our rebels the kitchen is closed. You know, you don't eat after a certain period of time. You have a feeding window. That's hard. This is hard. That's hard. This is hard. That's hard. You need to understand you ain't never getting out of hard. Every path you take has got a hard to it. So pick which one you want to deal with. Pick the fact that, you know, I mean, Code Red Rebels, we don't believe in exercise. That in all of us listening right now, we know that exercise is not a way to address your weight problem. We know that. We know that you can't out-train a bad diet. You know, you can't out-exercise outrun your fork or out-train a bad diet. We all know this. We already know this. So, but if your heart is, if you're trying to manage your blood sugar or whatever's going on with you and you go ahead and do your morning cardio or whatever, that might be hard for you. But what is the alternative? That's hard for you. So picking your hard is job one. You need to realize that you ain't never getting out of hard. You need to realize that. The second thing that you want to do, that you want to realize, is that you are not the problem. The problem is the problem. So just fix the problem. Well, Cristy, what the heck does that even mean? You are not the problem. The problem is the problem. What do I mean? I had this client. I won't tell you who she is. Obviously, we don't want to say names here. We don't want to say names. I had this client, and she would do really well. She was a doctor. Her husband was a doctor. They were both doctors. They both worked full-time outside the home, and she would do really well in the program. She'd lose weight, and all of a sudden, she'd fall off the wagon. She'd binge eat, and she'd gain back a bunch of weight and have to retoxify her body. I don't know, retoxify is a word. I'm going to say it. Retoxify her body, and then we'd have to go back through detox and get her back on the wagon, and she kept doing this over and over. And I would say, gosh, what is going on? Why are you doing this? She said, I don't know. And I said, so I got to thinking, and I said, well, are you driving to a C-store and you're buying like ho-hos? She said, no. I said, are you going through the drive-through at McDonald's and you're getting like a number 6 extra large? She said, no. I said, well, are you ordering Domino's pizza? She said, no. I said, what are you doing when you eat, when you binge eat, when you fall off and you binge eat? And she said, I'm binge eating off my husband's food. I said, what? And she said, my husband keeps a whole bunch of junk food in the cupboard. And I just walk over there. I said, wait a minute. So you're just walking over there and you're getting that food out of the cupboard? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, my gosh, your husband, you guys are 50-50 owners of the house. Would your husband be willing to put his junk food in a Rubbermaid bin and maybe put it in his man cave or his truck or his garage? She said, yeah, he'd be willing to do that. I said, so you're saying if the junk food was out of your house, you wouldn't eat it? She said, no, I don't drive to go get it. I just eat it because it's right there in the house. I'm a proximity eater. I said, well, good Lord, that's the problem right there. Let's just fix the problem. The problem is you binge eat off your husband's food that's right there, 4.5 feet from you. The solution is let him box it up and put it in the other room. There's the problem. There's the solution. Let's fix the problem. And she said, but why? And she's a psychologist. Why, Cristy? Why am I like this? Why do I keep doing this? What is wrong with me? Oh, let me tell you, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you're like that, but who gives a rat's fanny? Let's just fix the problem. We have a solution to the problem, and she never did it again. We got the junk food out of her sight, away from her, and she never did it again. And I don't know. I don't know what the why is. Look, you know what? I am like almost like a coffee addict. I drink coffee constantly. Yes, I know. Cristy code red. El Jefe, my sister calls me. I have almost a coffee drinking problem. I could drink coffee from sun up to sundown. I love coffee. I don't know why I'm like a coffee addict. Maybe my folks, I know my parents were heavy coffee drinkers when I was growing up, and they maybe climbing up on their lap, they had coffee breath. Maybe it dates back to my childhood. Who knows? I don't know. But guys, I don't know why I love coffee so much. That's not the problem. I don't care about the why. The problem is I want coffee all the time. The solution is I have to drink another 40 ounces of water before I have another cup of coffee, because too much coffee isn't good for you. We know this, like, physiologically, but it's also cutting into my water drinking. You can't just stay, like, just hydrated on the coffee all the time. That's not good. So that's my solution. I don't know the reason behind the whole thing. And quite frankly, I'm 44 now. I just don't really want to dig. I really don't care. So let's take the one problem that you have and let's find a solution to it. Let's not worry about the why. Let's not take I'm so dumb. I have no willpower. What's wrong with me? I don't do it. Oh, and you're taking yourself and you're associating yourself with that problem. You're putting you're putting so much shame into that you're putting your own self-worth into the fact that you have this problem. You're not a lesser of a person because you have this problem, because, by the way, we're all screwed up. Can I just say, we're all messed up, okay? We all probably need a lot of counseling. So what? Who cares about the why? We have a problem. We have a solution. Bam. There you go. Maybe when you're rich and you have time someday, maybe down the road, you can get a counselor and you can dissect it. That's not in my wheelhouse. I don't care. My clients have an immediate problem. My job is to fix that immediate problem. So don't associate your self-worth with that small little problem that you have. Don't do that. Don't go down that road. All right. You got enough things to worry about with trying to raise your kids, keep your dog alive, and take care of your elderly in-law. All right. And hopefully not let your marriage fall apart in the whole process. Let's just focus on getting that problem under control and then move past it. You are not the problem. The problem is the problem. So let's just fix the problem. And the third point that you need to realize is that you are tough. You do hard things. People say to me, well, Cristy, I'm not a professional boxer. I'm just not tough. I didn't fight in 15 pro fights and 5 broken noses. And, I've never had stitches. I've never even hit somebody before. I'm just not tough. Oh, but you gave birth to 3 kids without an epidural. I think that's pretty tough. See, you're thinking, because you're not a fighter like me, or whatever you're thinking, that you're not tough. That is absolutely not true. You are tough. You have toughness in you. You do hard things. You're getting caught up in the everyday life. And we're raising our kids, and we're walking our dog a couple of times a day, and we're taking care of, your in-law needs their meds, and you're just trying to, the days slip into years, and the time goes by, and you just kind of get into the groove of everyday life, and you're forgetting the things that happened in your life that make you tough. You're thinking just because society doesn't see it that way, that it's not that way, but that's not true. You know what I hate? I'm going to say hate. I hated when stay-at-home moms put the word just in front of the fact that they're a stay-at-home mom. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Whoa. I would not want to be a stay-at-home mom. You guys, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And you have listened to this. If you're a stay-at-home mom, shame on you for putting that word just in front of that. Talk about a thankless job. Talk about a job that you don't get the reward for what you do. You're raising good contributing members of society, but you're thinking, well, just because I wasn't a fighter or I wasn't a professional athlete or wasn't a whatever, you think that that's not tough. I'm telling you right now, what you do is tough. And we're now really starting to give the credit, not nearly enough, to stay-at-home moms. We're just not doing that. And whatever you do, I'm just using that for an example. There's plenty of you. You're a dental hygienist, and you run a guide company, and you sell Mary Kay. Like whatever you're doing, you've got to realize that you have things inside of you that are tough. And what I want you to do is I want you to find a time in your life where you had to, God forbid, bury a child, or you had to, you had to go through surgery, or there were things, and maybe you went through a divorce, or maybe you lost a spouse, or you had to, the contraction in the market, you lost your job. Maybe you had to stand in the food bank line. I have had to stand in the food bank line before, and I know that is not, oh my gosh. I mean, I've been on Idaho State food stamps. There are things in your life that you have gone through that was hard, that was challenging, that you pushed you to your limits, that you were at rock bottom. And you've got to remember, when something is in front of you that you've got to get through, you've got to think back to those times where you had to get through that situation. And look at you, you did it. You did it, and you can get through this one too. But stop thinking that you're not tough just because you didn't blank, that you're not on the UFC, or I'm telling you, the UFC. Look, can I just sidebar here and say, oh my gosh, when I was in boxing, they offered me a job to go fight in the UFC. I said, no way. Are you kidding me? Take an elbow to the eye socket. I'm not doing that. Those guys really are tough. But you have got to remember, just because you're not fighting in an octagon doesn't mean you're not tough. You have got to remember those times and access those times when you were tough and you got through something absolutely horrific, that you got through something that really pushed you. And you can do that again. That's what I do. I do access my fighting days. I mean, I wasn't the best fighter. I wasn't the number one in the world, but so many times I remember times where that I had to get through a really, really tough fight, or I had to get through really tough training or something. And I say, Cristy, you fought. I mean, one time this girl hit me. You guys, it split my lip clear on the inside of my lip. And I remember having to go through, like, I think it was a 10-round fight with blood. I had to tuck my lip in, and I was swallowing blood. And I was so sick from swallowing so much blood. And I just had to finish the fight with this blood going down, just down my face and down my lip. And it hurt so bad. And so I remember that. I'm like, oh, come on. Like when I have to drink my apple cider vinegar or something, like, this is so gross. Oh, come on, Cristy. You have been through much tougher things. And that's what you got to say to yourself. I have been through much tougher times than this. I can do this. You've got to remember how strong you are. You've got to remember that I do hard things. Repeat that back to yourself over and over. I do hard things. I am tough. I can do this. Remember this. When you are faced with a tough situation, and it doesn't have to be a life-threatening situation. It doesn't have to be that you're rock climbing and you've got your arm stuck in that between two rocks, like that one movie where the guy had to saw off his arm. Look, come on. It doesn't have to be something extreme like that. You can repeat it all the time. You can repeat it just walking past your grandma's casserole. You know that's not healthy for you. You walk past, I do hard things. I can do this. I am tough. I do hard things. I can do this. So remember, guys, pick your hard. Because it's all hard. Pick your hard. You ain't never getting out of hard. You ain't never getting out of the rules. You are not the problem. The problem is the problem. So just fix that problem. Don't assign your self-worth to that problem just because you're having a problem. Fix it. Move on. And number 3, you do hard things. You are tough. Even if you don't feel like it, you have had times in your life where you had to get yourself crawl up out of that hole. You can do it. You did it once. You can do it again. Remember these top 3 things, and you'll stop self-sabotaging. You'll stop feeling like you're not worth it, and you can accomplish this weight loss goal or whatever goal you have by remembering these 3 things. You guys, thank you so much. Have a good rest of KetoCon, and I will see you soon.